Ready?
Janine, you're going to open on 6, right?
Mm-hmm. You look
Jacqueline
nervous.
Harris has a master in social work from Fordham University. She is a producer and talk show host of I Have a Dream Too, Empowering You. She is also the founder and CEO of a nonprofit organization called I Have a Dream Too, Inc. I had to. Just ask me. Jacqueline is an entrepreneur, empowerment coach, motivational speaker, and visionary. She believes that all people can redefine their purpose, their place, and their possibilities through determination, persistence, and tenacity. Jacqueline has begun to crystallize her goals. Without difficulty, she continues to make plans daily to achieve all possibilities. With her supreme confidence, determination, and disregard for obstacles and other people's criticisms, she will carry out her plans. Why? I have a dream too. Jacqueline knows she can dream anything she wants to dream. That's the beauty of the human mind. Jacqueline can do anything she wants to do. That is the strength of the human will. Most importantly, Jacqueline trusts herself to test all limits. This will be Jacqueline's courage to succeed. Come join me on this journey of empowerment because you have a dream too.
Welcome this evening. Finally, we are live back with I Have a Dream Too, Empowering You TV talk show tonight. And tonight we have a very igniting evening with a powerful guest here, the first half hour, Joseph Ward. He is the owner of Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled. And he is here with us. He's being Skyped in from Tallahassee, Florida. So we welcome him this evening. Welcome, Joseph.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. So finally, we were back live here in New York. The weather has not been that great. So I thank you, and I'm sure Florida is feeling pretty good right about now.
Well, not to our standards.
Okay. All righty. Good, good, good. So you have this new program, okay, domestic violence, sexual awareness, and you title it Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled. How did you get started with all of this?
Well, I actually got started with Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled through a program called New Hope. I started working at the local health department here in Tallahassee, and when I came in, I was a college graduate and I had some skills, but I didn't have, the skill set that I have now. So I was a part of this New Hope program, which was a life skill program, and the lessons that I learned from that, I decided to apply to my life as well as apply to my business. So I started blogging one day, and it was all motivational at first, and then my blog kind of blossomed into my business, and I constructed my business to be a domestic and sexual awareness business as well as a life skill business. So I incorporate both of them because I think they're both needed and help me empower people.
Yes, and really what the show is empowering you. So I felt that it was important because we realize that domestic violence is still an issue. It's a major issue throughout the country. So as much awareness and education that we can bring forth through this show is helpful. So that's why, one of the reasons why I brought you on. So where are you at with this program?
Well, I'm in the beginning stages as far as Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled, but as far I'm 5 years into domestic and sexual violence. I feel as if it called me because this is not something I ever imagined myself getting into when I was younger. Like I said, I got the job at the local health department, and it was the director of the sexual violence prevention program. I really didn't have an idea of what I was getting myself into, but I'm glad I took this opportunity because it helped me grow as a man, learning more about sexual domestic violence, learning the things that us as men can do to help prevent sexual and domestic violence, since we are the majority of the perpetrators. And I'm in the beginning stages, like I said, as far as Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled. I have had a couple speaking engagements, and I am moving forward with my life skills program. So it's just, keeping my head to the ground and moving forward and making sure I dot my I's and cross my T's so I can become successful.
Right. And what are some things that, in terms of awareness, that we can give to our audience in terms of domestic violence? What are some things that you see? Because we know that domestic violence is just not about the physical piece. We know those are some of the obvious, but what are some things that you've experienced so far in your work with people?
Wow. I've experienced, I guess you could say, the full gamut with my interactions with people. I've experienced or encountered people, I can say, from the ages of 13 to 55.
Mm.
And I've seen economic abuse. I've seen emotional, psychological, physical, sexual, whatever kind of abuse you could possibly think about. I've seen in the stories I've heard and the victims that I've come encounter with. It's horrific what I see, and it's horrific what happened to people. One that stands out in my mind is a lady named Carolyn Thomas. She's known as the woman without a face. She was actually shot in the face by her boyfriend. But before she was shot in the face, he had all the classic signs of an abuser. He was basically slowly chipping away at her self-esteem. He was slowly gaining control of her as far as overbearing her. He used the tactic of isolation. That's one of the main keys, removing someone from their safety net. And when they're isolated, they have no one to turn to, so that person who's the dominator can continue to dominate that person. Let's say with the economic abuse, I've heard stories of young ladies, her husband would not allow her to work or gain promotions at her job because it was a threat to his manhood. So I've heard a lot.
Okay. And so what are some tips, some things that you can offer individuals? Because you mentioned a 13-year-old. What does that look like for a 13-year-old?
Well, for a 13-year-old, they may not understand fully what's going on. I think for kids, especially young ones, we should start early with them with good touch, bad touch. And we should also, as they get older, alert them about acquaintance rape or acquaintance abuse, or the sexual violence that could come from those close around you. Teach them. Adults themselves should go out and learn as much as possible. Paying attention to classic signs of abuse. Paying attention to people. Period. I heard of a story in New York where a man got convicted because the friend of the abuser actually paid attention. So paying attention. For those who have been victimized, they should seek counseling.
Yes.
If you haven't sought counseling, please go ahead and seek counseling now, because that can help end the cycle of abuse that we know exists.
Yes. And so what are some things in terms of if we, you're giving speaking engagements, you're creating modules, what is the training piece, or how are you empowering people, individuals, men and women, because we do know that men get abused as well, but we know that the popular piece is the man is considered to be the perpetrator. So what is some of the training aspects of it?
All of my information is designed to empower. I see it as I want to teach them something that they can practically use immediately to change their situation. So all of my modules and all of my training points and pieces are specifically designed for certain crowds, especially my section, domestic violence prevention piece. I try to mold it to the audience that I'm addressing, because everyone is not dealing with the same issues. So, and I don't want to come with a standard curriculum. So I tailor that toward whatever the issue is with that victim. If that victim is being abused and their self-esteem.
We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back.
Let our creativity work for you. We design business cards, brochures, annual reports, newsletters, and magazines. menus and programs, flyers and mailers, signs and posters, and more. We also do voiceovers. First impressions matter. Make yours count with an expressive voice artist. Distinctive, warm, soothing, natural delivery that can add believability and appeal to any audio project. Contact us to discuss how we can make your project a success. Sierra Graphics. That's info@sierragraphics.com.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
We're going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the Madhouse TV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia, and it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Welcome back, and we're here with Joseph Ward, owner of Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled. And we were just talking about his new program and services on domestic violence, sexual awareness. So thank you for sharing that information. And you were talking about, you also have something called, what is the Shoulder of Giants? What is this, the Shoulder of Giants? What is that?
On the Shoulders of Giants is a series that I created to profile unsung African American heroes throughout the African diaspora, specifically in America. And I created that because when I would go out and teach young kids sexual and domestic violence information and life skills information, and I had a game that would profile specific heroes, and they didn't know who anybody was. And after about 3 years of children telling me that they didn't know who these prominent figures were, I decided to do something about it. So when I created my Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled blog, I created my On the Shoulders of Giants section within my blog with the intent to profile as many unsung African American heroes as possible. And that spiraled into my book now, which is On the Shoulders of Giants, Volume 1, North America, where I profile 10 unsung heroes throughout North America.
Is the book out now?
Yes, the book is out now. It's on Amazon. It's on eJunkie.com as well as Lulu.com. It's on Barnes & Noble. So
It's ready for it's and I think that's important in terms of empowering our youth in regards to a lot of African American heroes that don't get spoken about in schools these days, and everything is social networks, so that certainly doesn't get portrayed over there. So definitely my hat is off to you for taking on that challenge, of course. And so the Freedom Train, what's the Freedom Train?
Freedom Train is an online resource radio show that I created along with my good friend, Mr. Patrick Irvin. We were connecting with a lot of professionals and a lot of business owners. And like I said, the youth that I deal with and some of the people, the adults as well that I deal with, low income, low education, they may not have access to resources and people. So my show is designed to connect all the resources to all the communities. So I'm going to interview as many successful people as possible and work on bringing their resources to my community and work on bringing my community's resources to these people. And that's the total intent of the Freedom Train.
Great. So in Florida, and we spoke about this, there are still counties in Florida that are, quote unquote, still living in an era of time almost like slavery. Okay.
Yes.
And so how do you plan to empower them and change that culture?
Availability. I have to be available in the communities, and I have to be consistent with my availability because the culture has persisted as it is now for so long that it's kind of a way of life. It's become a norm. So to be able to change that, I have to one, be realistic with myself, and I have to two, be patient but persistent and consistent, and make sure that the people that I'm aligning myself with to empower these communities, make sure they're sincere as well as far as bringing their resources. That way the people can trust us, because we have to gain the trust of the people. If they don't trust us, we can't help them. And first, I want them to know that we're sincere about empowering them. And I want to bring in resources from all walks of life, all different points, specifically economic empowerment, because that's one thing I can see these communities lack.
Right. Have you gone into any communities yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in the communities here in Tallahassee. I've been in the communities in surrounding counties as well. We have what we call the Big Bend area, and I've been in at least 5 of these counties at actually doing things to actually help them empower the community.
Can you describe the county itself in terms of it created this desire for you to change their culture, their way of living? Can you give a description of a particular county that you have observed and experienced?
Well, especially the county that I live in, it's kind of funny because I tell people this all the time. My city, Tallahassee, is not big at all, but it's kind of the New York of this area. And I know people would laugh at that because the city is so small, but that explains the rural.
Such
Um,
as, just
oh,
any
yeah.
such as
Um,
any rural county that you've experienced where there is a culture of living that is way behind the time.
yes, people still living in houses where they have to use outhouses. There are people living on land that was taken from them in a bad deal from the banks and or the people who actually control the towns. Because here, especially in the rural counties, you have certain families who control the towns, and the information that, especially the poor side of the towns, the information that they get is usually old information, old textbooks. It kind of has a 1950s, 1960s feel, to be honest.
Right. So, I'm going to try to envision this whole piece of it is that when going to a county as such as that and empowering families, individuals, you run across obviously education system that is perhaps doesn't almost exist or diminish, and also the domestic violence, sexual awareness piece that you're trying to empower is even at the risk is even higher, I would presume. So,
Yes,
and okay, is it somewhere that is allowing to give them a voice? Is that what I'm
yes,
hearing? Okay, so
yes,
getting a part or becoming part of the train is taking a particular family that has been in a living in a you know back in the time in the slavery type conditions, will help to empower them and bring them forth to the 21st century. And I would see that as a great challenge because it's generational.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
It is, especially when you're talking about the sexual and domestic violence piece. People living in rural counties are only have access to the resources that are available to them.
Right.
And if the resources are minimal, then that's all they know.
Hmm.
And the access to those resources that are minimal, how are they accessing those resources?
Hmm.
If economics is a problem and that economic problem is holding them back from reaching these resources, then, as you said, it's going to be a generation after generation of families who only hold on to a certain level of knowledge because they never gotten access to resources. So that's the whole purpose of what I'm doing is to link people to
To
resources.
resources, right?
I want the resources on these people's front porches.
Okay. And that's a huge challenge. So whatever I can do to help and support you on that, definitely let's do that because there is a need to continue to empower many of those who don't hear or don't know anything about. There's other ways and means to
Correct.
things that perhaps keep them oppressed. So. I commend you for that. Now, where can people find you when they want to go and hear about your presentations or they want to book you as a speaker, a motivational speaker, or even to get resources?
You can find me at www.liveskilltraining.com. That's LIVESKILLEDTRAINING.com. You can email me at mail@liveskill.com. I'm on Facebook under Live Skilled, Twitter at Live Skilled, Instagram at Live Skilled. On LinkedIn, you can find me at Joseph Ward. But those are the main places where you can find me. Or you can check out my blog, which is www.liveskilled.com.
Okay, so all of the social networks, primarily a lot of the social networks you
Yes.
can find of Live Skill, Live Fulfill. So basically, as you say, we prepare you to win and to make
Yes.
people winners in all of this process. So, is there anything that you want to say to our audience who's watching in regards to domestic violence, in regards to empowering? Is there anything that you want to leave off with?
Yes. Let's make sure we're challenging these social and cultural norms that we've become accustomed to living with. especially if they're unhealthy. Let's start promoting healthy relationships. Remember, you are what you eat, and what you allow within your being is what you're going to become. So let's get all of the negative out of our life, especially the external things that we don't need. So that way we can empower ourselves and make sure we are uplifting others. We can all often become successful by helping others become successful and wishing well on others. And once we start to do that with each other, we'll all be successful. And I want personally everyone to become successful. We can.
Hmm. And your Freedom Train, the radio station, is on when?
It will begin March 3rd at 4:30 p.m. on WTAL 1450 AM.
Okay, so you can get that in Florida only.
Florida only. We're working out the online situation now, and once we get that, I'll make sure I get that information to you.
Okay, so thank you for coming on. Live Skill, Live Fulfill, and Joseph Ward will definitely be one that will prepare you to win. And so I appreciate you coming on and sharing all of that wonderful information and helping to empower individuals, communities, and organizations. And again, if you want to be able to get more information about Joseph Ward and his Live Skill, Live Fulfill, please visit his website at liveskilllivefulfilled.org.
LiveSkillTraining.com.
LiveSkillTraining.com. Okay, great. So this has been great, and I thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Because
I appreciate
know,
this opportunity.
right, you have a dream too.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And we'll be right back.
$1.3 million women are victims of physical assault by an intimate partner each year. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the majority of cases aren't reported to the police. Most people who are in an abusive relationship don't even know they're in one. The truth is, all abusive relationships boil down to one thing: control.
How do you like it? My new dress.
Are you out of your mind? You look like a prostitute. We're not going out with you dressed up like that in public.
But what am I supposed to wear?
Wear something decent. You can't wear that out in public. We're going to be late. Get back in there and pick a different outfit. I'm going to go run some errands. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Please be ready, okay?
Fine, I'll change. Fine.
Abuse is not always physical, leaving wounds that are visible on the outside. Emotional abuse is just as painful, only these wounds are hidden on the inside.
Are you out of your mind? You're crazy. You look like a prostitute.
Know that abuse is abuse, no matter what the form.
Look at me.
Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
Physical abuse scars the body.
I just wanted to love me.
But mental abuse scars the mind.
What you just saw was an example of a relationship that is emotionally abusive. Nobody has the right to tell you how to dress or how to act. If someone really cares for you, they won't tear you down. They will build you up.
How do you like it?
Wow. You look great. Fantastic. But then again, you look great all the time.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd like it. It's my new dress. I bought it just so we could go out tonight.
You look stunning.
Thank you. But I think I'm going to take a sweater just in case it gets cold tonight.
Great idea. I'm going to take one too. Let's go.
All relationships are not perfect, but a healthy relationship is when two people bring out the best in each other and have each other's good in mind. Take your time to know someone instead of rushing into something. It is better not to involve yourself with an abusive person than to try and get out of a domestic violence situation.
If someone is abusive to you and you need help, please call the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-SAFE. They have highly trained experts available 24/7 who will speak with you confidentially and offer information regarding the unhealthy aspects of your relationship, resources, or immediate support for victims to find safety and live lives free of abuse. Domestic violence affects us all.
It affects us all.
Nos afecta a todos.
It affects us all.
모두에게 영향을 줍니다.
Che ci ricarte tutte.
It affects us all.
Domestic violence.
Welcome back to I Have a Dream 2, Empowering You. I'm now back with a new guest. It's a young boy named Naeem Hudson, better known as King Na. He's 9 years old, and he grabbed my attention through Facebook, and I just said that he needs to be on my show. He's a motivational speaker. He's an artist. He is an actor, and he's very captivating with what he's doing, his purpose. And so I want to welcome you, Naeem.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Yeah, this is King Na. She just introduced me. So she's gonna ask me some questions. And I'm gonna be talking. Well, you guys probably know that, but so starting off with any questions?
Yeah, sure. Motivational. Well, you're 9 years old, so you didn't just start off, as a motivational speaker. Where did this all start for you?
First off, where all started, it started when I was about 4. When I was 4, rapping actually came in. Then because I was just humming and getting the melody and just being creative and making different noises. And then I got in the attention to start wanting to rap. Because I saw other people rap and other people be artists. But that's what I definitely started working on. I started on my rapping and anything that concerns to rapping. I started rapping in the mirror soon. Because that's how I was learning. Just rapping, making random noises, rapping in the mirror with glasses on. I thought that was just going to be me, that rapping, but a whole bunch of other stuff came in. And at rapping, I've also gotten into instruments, like a piano. I know how to play a piano for most people that don't know. The first time I ever played that piano was in the studio, my dad's friend's studio. So they were having a meeting, excuse me, and then I just saw the piano. I walked up the stairs, played the piano, dun dun dun. They started making some noise. Then the next time I played the piano was at the kids' Peachtree Mall, and I was getting pretty good with it. So that's how I learned how to do a piano, play a piano. But now I know the melody to it, just like how I know the melody to rapping now. And then at my first performance, it was just rap. My first time getting actually on the stage. Well, not my first time, but my first time, like, really performing. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Because the actually first time was at the Christmas event from FP. They were doing a little holiday gift bag. So the lady on the stage said, excuse me, the lady on the stage said, is there any other young, talented people that would like to come up and say something or perform? And the song that I said was the song that I'm always singing in the mirror. So I said, what am I going to do? I want to go up there, but what am I going to sing? What am I going to do? What am I going to rap? So then I thought about the song that I'm always yelling in the mirror. So then I raised my hand, I walked up there, and because my dad just told me to sit down, but I was creative and I wanted to experience. So I walked up there, and then my father came in, and the lady said that we have a 6-year-old rapper. So then I got up, I started singing my song, I started rapping. Sitting in the plane, it's King Nai, I'm going high, in the sky, that was the song that I'm always doing in the mirror. Oh snap, the battery's about to die. But let me continue. Make the best out of this moment, because the battery's about to die. So, yeah. That was actually my first rap I did for people. So, my performance was in Newark on the stage, and I was rapping my first song that I really ever put out there.
King Na?
Yeah.
So where did the motivational speaking start? Because that's what all of your videos that you see on YouTube, you have this motivational speaking talent and gift. Where did that come in at? Because you've spoken on many different topics and articulate quite well.
Well, where it came from was when I done my first speech, and most people commented on it and liked it. I had more comments than some of my raps on the speech. So then my dad said, they just want to hear him talk. So then we started to do the talking. We started to do the talking and different things. And I never wrote anything down. I would just go up there, say a speech from the top of my head. Because that's creativity. That's bringing something from your head to the surface. And when everyone hears my thoughts that I have to share, they're just wiped away. Because they only think that it's one child like me. They think that child's only me. But they need to know that if you encourage your child and tell him to be creative or tell him to experience more or new things, that's how it's going to come. And always tell them to accomplish their dreams and unlock their greatness. So yeah, that's how speaking came for me.
Right. And so a number of your videos, one of them, which I thought was quite captivating, was the interview with your father. And you want to share a little bit about that, how that all came about? You decided to do this interview?
It came from, I just wanted to interview my dad. I wanted to see if he can come on my show and talk about how it was growing up. Mm. So he claimed that I forced him on the show, but that wasn't true.
Okay.
I just asked him. He agreed. He just said some extra stuff on the show just to be funny. Just to let people know. Because I don't want people to think that I forced him. I did not force him. Something he just said.
Okay.
So I just said, how about you come on my show and talk about how it was growing up for you? And he said, okay, I'll do it. And it was pretty cool, him talking about his life, because I know somewhere around the world or some kids might be going through what he went through today. So he, as a child, he didn't have such a successful life, but he grew up learning. As he grew, learn, and became a better person. See, when he was young, I bet teachers probably judged him or said that he wouldn't be here when he's a grown man. But look where he is now. He's finally here, successful, shooting the camera, and knowing that he actually made his own job. He didn't go to one job. He made his own. It was videography. That's for most of you who don't know what videography is, it's like recording, like being a director.
Is that where you came up with Throw Pebbles at the World? Is that where you came up with Throw Pebbles at the World?
That wasn't the first time he had his camera. If you're asking that.
Mm-hmm. No, you have something where you did. You talked about throwing pebbles at the world. What did that mean? Because you have a gift and a talent to inspire, educate, and empower many people. And so, in sharing that information and throwing pebbles at the world, what does that mean? Can you articulate that?
What it means is, it means finish your dream. It means finish your dream, but not at an old age. And throw pebbles at the world. For most people who didn't know what that was, that means throw your greatness at the world. Show whatever you got inside you, any talent, throw it at the world. Show the world any part of your talents, and do it when you're young. That's why in the video, the person who was talking said, "Do I have to be a grown-up to be great?" That was also telling children that you don't have to be a grown-up to be an actor or a model or a rapper to do anything successful. You can be at a young age to do that too. So that's what throw pebbles at the world mean, to show your greatness to the world. And it was also to encourage kids. Like if my father was still young today, that video would have been to encourage kids like him.
And encourage kids, right.
Throw pebbles at the world was really about.
And so when we're talking about kids your age who are struggling, what can you share with them?
What I can share with them is just know that if children think that I'm a superhero or that I'm very great and who think that I can do everything, you might know how to ride a bike without training wheels. So I don't basically know how to do everything because I don't know how to ride a bike. Unfortunately, I need training wheels to ride a bike. But just know, parents, I'm struggling with topics too. I'm struggling with math, so I definitely have to practice my math. ELA is pretty easy in social studies because it's really going back into history, social studies and ELA, so I really know about my history. And math is a topic that I'm struggling with. So parents, don't think that I know everything and that I can teach your child everything, because I don't know how to ride a bike without training wheels. I'm struggling with math. It's different things that I'm struggling with and that I don't know how to do. So children, just know that I'm not the biggest, bestest, greatest person in the world that knows how to do everything. Because, like I said, I don't.
Right. And what can
So that child sitting in that seat that might not know what to do, it's natural. It's okay. Because sometimes I don't know what to do. So it's normal.
And so I know that you have quite a few motivational speaking engagements, and a lot of people have contacted you to speak. What is one thing that you focus on in particular that you like to share with people?
Well, what I really like to share with people is letting them know to be creative. Because if you're not creative, then you're not going to be able to create something new. Well, you probably could, but creative needs to be in that new thing that you're creating. So creativity and being great is what is the best part of my speeches that I want to really give to the world. Because if they know, because if it's coming from a child to let them know that they have to be great, then they're probably going to say, so he's telling me that I need to be great and I need to be creative. So if I'm creative, I can probably create something or become something or do something totally amazing, like mind-blowing. And also if he's telling me to be great, then that means even if I'm struggling with this or that, still be great and still be able to accomplish some things in what I know and be great and unlock my greatness and just be me by being great and being creative. And that is my favorite thing in speeches to tell people because they learn from that. And actually, I'm not sure if it inspires people, but I hope that it does inspire people. So any other questions? I just love to talk.
Oh, I see that. You do love to talk. You have something with Mr. Bookie. What is that?
I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
Well, what we have going on for Mr. Bookie, he's a book bag. Basically, like you see shows with Barney. Man, I used to be a big fan of Barney and Elmo. You see Barney and you see Elmo. So Barney is a dinosaur. You won't actually get to see a dinosaur, or Elmo, you won't actually get to see a walking teddy bear. So we created a book bag because a book bag is something that us children really use and that we carry around us. So we wanted for the children to have an image that they can see. And they know that they put all their smart supplies inside Mr. Bookie, letting other kids know, be smart. And also, he's used to also inspire children and go and talk to children. Also letting them know, well, really, Mr. Bookie isn't out right now because we're still working on him, fixing a few pieces and fixing the fan and most of that stuff. But Mr. Bookie is a mascot to show the kids, kids around the world or any kid that they can be anything they imagine if they just put their mind to it. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So Mr. Bookie really is a person that the children can see every day. You know why Mr. Bookie is a person that they can see every day? Because Mr. Bookie's a book bag. So they see a book bag every day. So they see Mr. Bookie, and once they saw Mr. Bookie and Mr. Bookie inspired them, once they put on their book bag, they say, hey, my book bag just made me remember Mr. Bookie. And now I remember when Mr. Bookie inspired me. So whenever they look at their book bag and they remember that Mr. Bookie inspired them, that reminds them every day to be great. Or be creative. Or be great at something that you don't know what to do.
Great.
That.
So, King Now, we're going to take a short break and we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll just be right back. Thank you.
I'm not.
We're going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the Madhouse TV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia, and it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you could follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
Let our creativity work for you. We design business cards, brochures, annual reports, newsletters and magazines, menus and programs, flyers and mailers, signs and posters, and more. We also do voiceovers. First impressions matter. Make yours count with an expressive voice artist. Distinctive, warm, soothing, natural delivery that can add believability and appeal to any audio project. Contact us to discuss how we can make your project a success. Sierra Graphics. That's info@sierragraphics.com.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhouse TV. You are the man.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Hey, welcome back. We're here with King Na, 9-year-old, who's a motivational speaker. So, King Na, what are some final things? What do we want people to know about King Na?
Well, I want people to know first how I came up with my name. How I came up with my name, me and my dad were just sitting in the car. My dad said, okay, so you want to be a rapper. If you're a rapper, what's going to be your name? So I said, Prince now. And then I said, no. Then I thought of back then how they used to be kings and queens. And I wanted to be considered as a king, which now that I know that I am a king. So I said, how about King Na, Daddy? They said, whatever you want it to be, great. So then King Na was my stage name and carried me through and out of performances.
Great. And what do you want our audience that's watching to know about King Na? As he's on this journey, you are on this journey to educate, empower, and entertain. What are the final things that you could say about King Na?
Well, the final things that I can say about me is just know that you and me are just alike. about me is that some of us make the same mistakes, and I still struggle with a couple things. I told you that in one of the parts when I was talking, but just letting you know that again, that I am not the greatest. Yes, I believe that I'm great, but I'm not the greatest. Because know that there can be another kid that comes like a new motivational speaker and a star. He might be the next great. But what he or she needs to know, because I know that I'm really not the greatest, but I know that I'm great. So because there can be another person that can come and be great. So what he or she needs to know is that they are great. Just know that you are great. But you're not going to be the greatest of the world speaker, because there could be another speaker that comes and he can be a great speaker.
Mm-hmm. What can you leave with the audience to inspire them?
To inspire them?
Yes. Yeah, we only have a few minutes.
So, just to inspire you guys, know that you're always great. Know that you can be great at anything if you just put your mind to it, or you really take your time to think about it, and you really struggle with stuff that you don't know. Because just know this, you have to go through the struggle to have a successful life. It might not always turn out how you want it to, but it might someday something might happen and you just might be tremendous or blown away or the next new big thing. You're not going to know. So, yeah.
Where can people find you through social media?
People can find me on kingna.com and Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Well, I have everything. I have Twitter, because I don't really know what most of them are called, but I'm on them.
Okay.
So I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and for everything. King Nas for Instagram, King Nas for Twitter, King Nas for everything.
Okay.
And just know, people, I have my DVDs for $10, and I have cards also.
Okay. Beautiful. And so all of the social networks you can find King Na on, and I would suggest that you go to his Facebook page and you'll be able to hear all of the different interviews that he's done in more detailed and become captivated and inspired by this young person, 9 years old, who's great right now, as he says, and he is doing wonderful things to influence the world, to inspire the world. He's on this journey, and he's doing a fantastic job at that at 9, so we all should be feeling quite empowered by him, and you'll hear more about King Na. Any final thoughts, King?
Just know that you can be anything and anyone you want if you just practice. Actually, you can be better than the person that you want to be like if you just practice smarter and harder, and if you just put a little bit more creativity into anything that you're trying to do, you can be the next great.
Thank you. I want to thank you for coming on and sharing and motivating me and many others who are listening to this show. And, I think you're doing wonderful things. And again, like I said, go to King Na website. And again, you could also follow me, Jacqueline Harris, on Facebook, as well as I Have a Dream Too. So it's been a great evening and a very powerful show. So thank you and have a good night.
You're welcome. And anytime. I'll speak whenever you want me to, because I love talking.
I see that, definitely. Very good. Thank you so much. Great.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.